Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm actually going to be breaking down how I made over $5,000 in just 1 week from launching an online course. Okay, so a little bit of backstory for you guys. So about 2 months ago, I launched my first ever huge online course called Elevate Your Details. I am a full-time wedding photographer, and I also currently educate other photographers to grow their businesses. And so this was my first kind of big jump into educating other photographers. I've offered one-on-one mentoring in the past. I've offered online shop products in the past, including presets to edit photos in Lightroom. But this was my first ever larger online course and a little bit of a bigger investment than anything I had ever put out there before. So I actually did this launch also completely organically. So what I mean by that is I didn't pay for any Facebook ads, I didn't pay for any Instagram ads, I didn't pay for any affiliates. So it was completely just from the people that followed me and were willing to support me that purchased and invested in my course. All right, so breaking down a little bit of how exactly did I even do this? How was I able to launch my first online course and make that much in just 1 week? So the first thing that I did that I think was super important, and I'm really glad that I did, was listening to my audience and what they wanted, especially my followers on Instagram and people who are in my email list, the SK Tribe. It was super important that I listened to what exactly people wanted from me. And to be completely transparent, I really wanted to first dive into creating an online course or something like that that had to do with the business side of growing a wedding photography business. And I really wanted to jump headfirst into that. However, when I pulled my Instagram and my email list and my audience and asked them, hey guys, like, what do you guys want to see? What do you really want? What would be really helpful for you? And what do you see me doing that you really want to learn about? And when I did that, I continually got people asking for how to photograph wedding details, which is kind of crazy because it is a very specific kind of education and there's not a lot of it out there. So I knew if I was going to do this, that one, it was going to be very unique, and because there's not a lot of people teaching on that, and two, it was what people were asking from me, and people really wanted to know exactly how I was photographing details. So once I knew that the people who followed me and people who loved me wanted to see that from me, I decided that the best thing to do jumping into education and growing the education side of my business was to give them what they wanted. I was going to have a way easier time selling a course on photographing wedding details than I would if I tried to jump right into selling a course on the business side of photography. Even though I have a growing demand for that side of my education, I knew that by jumping into it first with a details course that was a little bit smaller, a little bit more specific, and more of what people wanted to see from me, it was going to be a really good way to just get into being an educator in the photography industry. The second thing that I did that I think helped me so much in just launching the course and having it sell so well was I polled my audience on what exactly they needed in a details course. So it's not enough just to ask your audience, hey, like, what do you want to see from me? But once you get feedback and you get ideas on things that multiple people want to see from you, so you know there's actually a demand for it, is you want to poll people and ask, okay, so you want to see a details course for me? Now tell me, like, what do you struggle with details? What are the hardest thing about details? What would you want to see in that? Like, what are the things you want to learn? What are your biggest questions that you have? And I continually, over and over again, polled my audience on questions like this and asked them, like, what exactly, if I created a course, like, what exactly would you want to see in that? And I think that helped me so much in just crafting the course. And I actually, to be completely transparent too, I had actually made a lot of the course last year. So I knew I wanted to make this. I knew there was a demand for this starting over a year ago, but I just didn't have the confidence or the knowledge to launch a course. And over the past year, I've really just gained that confidence, and I have gained a lot of knowledge from being in a mastermind with Hope Taylor. She's awesome. If you don't know who she is, you should totally check her out. She's also on YouTube, but I am currently in her, the first 6 months of 2020 in her mastermind. And that helped me so much in just having the knowledge and the tools to be able to launch something and have it be super successful. But anyways, once I knew what people wanted to see from me in a details course, I used that to really craft a lot of the things I was putting in the course. So I ended up refilming all of the course. I added a ton of content to it based on what people really wanted to see from me with that course and what they really needed. And what I found is that a lot of people, one, needed help styling their details, but they also needed a lot of help in actually getting their couples to care about details. So what I mean by that is having their couples actually like have their details ready to go when you show up to photograph a wedding, how to prepare them for that, how to make them see the importance of that. And I really give a lot of tools and resources in my course now that help people to do that, anywhere from email templates, questionnaires, things like that. that to help people to actually implement and actually get their couples to care so they have those details to photograph when they show up to a wedding day. The third thing I did that helped me so much, and I think this is one of the biggest things that helped me to successfully launch my course, is to prime my audience super, super well. So if you know anything about launching something, you probably know about this concept, but essentially it's getting people to think that one, I'm a credible educator, and two, I'm a credible educator on the topic that I'm speaking about. So I needed people to know, I mean, obviously I had a lot of people already seeing my details photos and asking for this from me, but I needed even more people to know, like, 100% I am a great educator on that subject and I know what I'm talking about. So making my free content that I'm putting out there super, super, super valuable and making it something that people listen to and they're like, oh my gosh, like she, one, knows exactly what she's talking about, but two, when they do see that I launch a course, they're thinking, oh my gosh, like if all of the free content that she's already put out there is that good, like I can't even imagine how good her course is. So really making that free content as good as possible. And the main way that I did this in priming my audience and putting out free content that's educational for them on photographing details is I created my strategy kind of around this. I, one, made a weekly YouTube video here on my YouTube channel. I have a series about 4 or 5 videos for I primed my audience for a good like 4 or 5 weeks before I actually launched the course. You definitely don't have to do it that long, but I wanted to just nail it and really get that topic, dive into that topic really great with my audience before I ever asked them to buy from me. So I created about 4 or 5 videos on this topic and different perspectives on this topic. Once I created the video, I would then push my video into a blog post. So I would create a blog post on my website and would have that video embedded in that blog post. I would push that blog post then to my email list. I would push it to my Facebook. I would reformat the video and upload it to my IGTV and then push it as a post on Instagram, push it to my Instagram stories, and really just put it out everywhere every single week that basically I love details and I love everything about details, which is totally true. And really getting people to think of me as someone who's kind of a go-to person if they want to learn about photographing wedding details. And kind of a little side note here, when I say that I made over $5,000 in a week, you could really argue that it definitely was a lot more time and a lot more work and energy and time being put into that week because I did so much to prime my audience beforehand. And like I said, you don't have to go as crazy as I did with this, but I really just wanted to make sure that I was 100% showing up and serving my people before I asked them to make a huge investment into me. So I really took the time to provide a ton of educational content, and it definitely was a lot of work, I will not lie, especially in that month leading up to launching it. It was obviously a little bit of extra time and just thought and being really intentional with the videos I was making and make sure I was pushing those everywhere, but it was totally worth it and totally worked out for me, and I am really happy with how the launch went. And now that the course is completely made and everything is done, it's now evergreen, which means that it's up there. Technically, my launch week was I put it out there and there were some bonuses for people in my challenge, which I'll get to here in a second. And then there was a discount that I am not going to offer ever again for people who bought within launch week. So even though it is evergreen product, I still use some more time sensitive strategies to get people to invest in my course the first week that it went live. Amber decided to come say hi. Emmy, are you a cutie? She loves sitting on the couch. And when I start filming videos, it's like she knows I'm like talking to someone and she wants to come join me. So she says, hey. I love you, baby. You're so good. Okay, back to it. Okay, so now moving more into how launch week actually went, I ended up hosting a free challenge on photographing wedding details, and I opened up signups for the challenge 1 week prior, and the challenge started on a Monday and was 5 days long. And then halfway through the challenge members got access to buy the course, kind of like on a pre-launch sale with the bonus of getting a personalized photo critique from myself. And this ended up working out really well for me. I sold the majority of my courses during that week, and then I only sold a couple more after that. So the majority of the people who ended up purchasing from me were in that challenge and went through the challenge and ended up buying the full course after going through the challenge. I ended up having 345 people sign up for my challenge. They were all added also to a Facebook group, and then every single day they got a new email with a link to like that day's content. And I was super, super active in the Facebook group, giving them really easy actions and prompts and questions to answer and engaging with all of their comments. The following Monday, so 1 week after after the challenge opened up, the bonus expired for challenge members and the sale opened up to the entire public. So my email list got a notification about it, my Instagram, my social media, my Facebook group, all of that got notified that the Elevate Your Details was open for anyone to purchase. And that was on sale at $247, which was my launch price and is the lowest price that I ever planned to put the course on sale. The doors closed on Friday, but technically I left them open over the weekend just for any stragglers or anyone who popped on and did want to buy the course. And then I did a 24-hour flash sale on Monday where anyone who maybe wanted to get the course but didn't jump in time was able to go and actually purchase the course. So I ended up making one more sale that day, so it was totally worth it. So I made a total of 20 people who purchased my course, which counted out to $4,940 because I was selling my course at $247 each, and then I made an additional $185 just from other paid products in my store that week, which accounts to over $5,000 in revenue in about 1 week, which is absolutely insane and really crazy. But it was just really cool to see how well it played out for me in serving my audience really, really well, and how that really did relate to making a ton of course sales. And by no means am I saying this is like crazy big or anything, but for someone who has a small following like me, at the time of launching my course, I had about 2,600 people on my email list, and I think on Instagram I had around 5,000, 6,000 followers, something like that. So for someone who has a smaller following and doesn't have like this mass following, it definitely was super cool to see how just showing up and serving my audience super well, not only serving them super well over the past couple of years and giving away a ton of free YouTube videos and blog posts, but how being super specific in that month leading up to the course launch and hosting that challenge and really just having that mindset of serving people really played out so well for me in launching my course. And then now that it's evergreen, there's not really a lot of work that I have to do on the back end now to continue selling my course. I hope this really inspired you. If you're someone who's wanting to get into maybe launching a course or anything like that, drop a comment below with any questions that you have and give this video a thumbs up if you learned something, because I am super pumped to just help you and to hopefully this just inspired you to go for it. And if you want to launch a course, just do it. And making sure that you're serving up and serving your people really, really well before you launch your course, and really just having the mentality of serving people before you try to ask them to pay you for something is just a really good way to go about it, and really worked so well for me. And I'm really excited to take that same concept and apply it to future course launches in the future, for future courses and future offerings that I have for my audience. So I'm super pumped about it. Subscribe to my channel if you like this video, and I can't wait to share more with you guys next Tuesday. Bye guys.